The middle of nowhere. It can be the most calm and welcoming environment if you want to escape the world, escape your troubles, and enter isolation for a moment of peace. Let's talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog. This is one of the best shows to watch as a kid, and even as an adult. It is simply off the hook! John Dilworth is the creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and his art style is strange and similar to the art style you'd see in the 90s animated rock music videos. It's bizarre and awesome. This is the only cartoon show I can think of that manages to blend humor and horror in the most creative and weird ways. And I don't mean like a parody of the horror genre. This show had some legit creepy and scary episodes. I think what really helped the series was the animation. John Dilworth's work is so random at times, and yet it fits perfectly to the tone of the show, especially with the appearance of certain characters and the atmosphere. With the premise of the show, you never knew what to expect.
I just know something bad is going to happen. Huh?
I am so glad that this show wasn't cancelled or censored for being what it is. There's no show like Courage the Cowardly Dog show, and it was one of the reasons why Cartoon Network was one of the biggest successful networks of the early 2000s. They had a lineup of the most original and creative cartoons ever made. We had the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, and of course,
Courage the Cowardly Dog Show, starring
I think the opening theme was perfect because it set the tone for the show. You get a quick introduction of the three main characters and a few examples of the creepy things that are seen in the middle of nowhere. If you're a kid waiting for a new episode, this ukulele theme song just pumps you up because you know there's a chance that this episode's gonna creep you out.
Stupid Dog!
But if you're new to the series, it totally drops your guard. Up until you get a quick glimpse of the creepy characters that appear in the show, and that'll surely throw you off. Oh yeah, did I mention that the main character barely speaks in the show? Courage was voiced by Marty Grabstein, Muriel was voiced by Thea White, and Eustace was voiced by Lionel Wilson for the first 33 episodes, then voiced by Arthur Anderson in episodes 34 through 52. And it just surprises me how this show barely had any dialogue for Courage, and he would mostly communicate through visuals and actions. It's never mentioned why Courage is able to transform into practically anything you can imagine, as well as pulling out a variety of items and instruments whenever he needs one. But it's a cartoon, so it's part of the charm. Going back to his dialogue, you know the meaning of show don't tell? Well, this show gives us many great examples of good storytelling because the main character barely speaks a word throughout every episode. But let's take a look at the pilot episode, the reason why the show was greenlit in the first place. As you can probably tell, Courage, Muriel, and Eustace look a little different. Not too much, just a tiny bit. But since the animation in the series is very random and goofy, it's once again part of its charm, in my opinion. I love how Courage looks in the pilot episode though. That's a long muzzle. I love the derpy little feet, and he only has 3 peats. His design is legendary. I love Muriel's design here as well. I kind of wish it stayed this way throughout the series. The ironic thing about Courage having 3 peats is that humans have 5 fingers. This is kind of funny because humans in cartoons are always designed with 4 fingers on each hand. But here, John Dilworth follows his own rules, and it works. In just the first 35 seconds, we're shown the characteristics of the 3 main characters. Courage is afraid of practically anything, seeing as a mouse alone frightens him. Muriel takes care of him whenever he's afraid, and Eustace loves to troll Courage. This whole episode is just a great example of show don't tell. Seconds later, an alien spaceship hovers in front of their house, and Courage is the only one to witness it. A chicken of all things emerges from the ship, and Courage rushes over to Eustace and Muriel to warn them about the alien.
Help! Help! Help!
I like how they believe him, and even Muriel is holding a kitchen roller. This rarely ever happens. Usually they ignore his cries because Courage likes to exaggerate. If anything, this is probably why they stopped believing him whenever he acted hysterical. But then again, Courage was always right.
Booga, booga,
So Courage is the only one aware that this chicken is an alien invading their home. But both Eustace and Muriel don't see any of its actions, so to them, everything is normal, and their dog is just acting like any other dog, barking at nothing. Things continue to escalate, and we see that the chicken has strangled all the other chickens in the coop. Again, Courage warns Muriel, but everything looks normal whenever she appears. Although she should have noticed that every chicken was missing but one.
What?
This is where it gets so intense. Courage has to break out of the chicken coop. And after Courage blows up the chicken coop, the alien watches everything from outside a window, just spectating, making sure that everything goes as planned.
Oh. Oh.
He runs back over to the chicken, aims his shot, and knocks the chicken out cold. But it ain't dead. He gets back up and they start fighting. All while Eustace continues to transform and get closer to attacking Muriel. Courage and the chicken end up fighting in many ways, by fencing, playing checkers, arm wrestling, and even seeing who can hold their breath the longest. Courage wins, so he lets the chicken know that it's time for him to leave. If you look at the luggage, it says Mars on it, and then after the chicken pulls out a weapon, the luggage now says Albany. And the guy on the billboard is John Dilworth, the creator himself. That's like the best way to cameo in your own show. What a happy ending, right? No, not really. Friggin' Eustace was disintegrated, and the mouse from before came back and ate particles of Eustace, which turned it into an alien itself. And this is how the pilot episode ends. Right before Courage speaks his first words.
This shouldn't happen to a dog.
Ouch!
That was a completely different voice actor. In fact, all three main characters were voiced by Howard Hoffman for the pilot episode. When I first saw this pilot episode premiering on Cartoon Network's What a Cartoon Show, I instantly loved it. And I was mad that I didn't know I was going to love it, because otherwise I would have quickly brought out a VHS tape and record over anything just to get the chance of rewatching this again and again. The crazy thing is that this pilot episode debuted almost 4 years before the official series would begin airing. The episode was made on December 31st of 1995. It was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film, but it lost to the Wallace and Gromit short, A Close Shave. After the show started airing, the pilot episode would be included as a bonus on the VHS release of Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and it would be seen at the very end of the Scooby-Doo movie after the credits rolled.
Right after Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, watch Courage the Cowardly Dog prove he's no chicken. As he races against time, testing his skills and strength, overcoming his fears to save the one he loves. It's on the Academy Award-nominated short, Courage the Cowardly Dog in The Chicken from Outer Space, a Cartoon Network exclusive following Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Thankfully, I wasn't the only one who really enjoyed it, and the higher-ups at Cartoon Network greenlit the show, and we got 4 incredible, entertaining seasons out of this. And in the first season, they'd include Revenge of the Chicken from Outer Space. Ooh, what a shocker. The chicken was back. Back for revenge!
Revenge has come!
And I gotta say, its new look is far more menacing than its original one. Cause even though it just looked like an ordinary chicken, its angry, blood-red eyes made it look quite menacing. But this, now it's walking around without a head. Yes, it's a roasted chicken, but it's walking around without a head. And that is its motivation. He wants a new head, and he's got his neck hole directed at Courage. This episode was suspenseful and hilarious. The music is just as memorable as the episode itself. Heck, I remember the music more than the episode. The confrontation between Courage and the chicken was awesome. It was just what I was hoping for. Now that the chicken wants a head, it's gonna take it from Courage or his owners. Muriel gets captured, Courage does what he can to save her, but is forced to try and get Eustace to help him save Muriel. But then that leads to this. Oh man, this is fucking terrifying. If you think about it, imagine a roasted alien going around wearing the head of your loved ones as it's after your head. And it doesn't stop, it just keeps going after both Courage and Muriel while wearing the head of Eustace. It's pretty hilarious how Muriel passes out, then wakes up unaware that the chicken is after them, up until the chicken had enough and uses its spaceship to get them after it breaks out of that big old chicken coop they had to get. I guess they had to repair it and make a bigger one, right? It's an incredible episode, alright. One that I can always go back to, like with the pilot episode. The way Courage kills the alien is by having it use the giant plunger on an underground missile left by the government, and it blows up the entire spaceship, taking down the chicken for good. And like with the pilot episode, Courage and Muriel sit on a rocking chair, and then this happens.
Oh, there's Eustace with my slipper.
This still shouldn't happen to a dog.
What a hell of an ending, right? Headless Eustace. His body is still walking around without a head. And it's not like they can just go out, find it, and put it back on. It blew up. It got obliterated with the explosion. Last time, he was killed off at the end. And he was back alive for the start of this episode. Speaking of that, that is one of the crazy things that happens occasionally with Eustace. In some episodes like this one, he ends up dying. He's a character you want to hate because he's always mean to Courage, but he's actually not that bad of a guy. At least every now and then he does some good deeds.
Who's that?
It's so hot. My head is burning.
Where's your hat?
I don't have one.
No hat? Little boy should have a hat.
So it sucks that sometimes he gets the short end of the stick and literally gets killed or trapped in a confined space where no one will ever go back and release him. It's a mad world with this show. There's even an episode where both Eustace and Muriel are turned into puppets. And by the end of the episode, even though Courage managed to defeat the croc that put them that way, they don't get to be turned back to normal. And the episode ends with Courage trying to pretend that everything is normal as he controls the puppets to reenact their normal routine. That's how the season ended. Season 1 to be precise.
Sometimes it's tough staying together as a team.
Ah! He's cleaning his socks in my stock pot. Man, you would have been gone weeks ago if I could have spilled Eustace.
You'd have been gone weeks ago if we didn't need you for broth. Ah!
The one who I'm surprised is still here is Brat.
Technically, he is not really one of us cartoons.
In the 4th and final season of Courage the Cowardly Dog, the episode titled Son of the Chicken from Outer Space would air. And now, we'd see that the chicken alien had a family of his own, a wife and a child with 3 heads. Their mother wants her kids to avenge her husband and eliminate Courage, and they won't be allowed back if they fail. Throughout the episode, they try taking down Courage in many ways, but they continue to fail and act like the 3 stooges smacking each other around. And that's the thing about this episode. It's not creepy like with the previous Chicken Alien episodes, and it's not suspenseful either. It even has a pleasant ending. Courage sees that the 3-headed chicken does not really want to hurt them, and they're only there because their mother told them to avenge their father, or they won't be allowed back home. So Courage lets them take pictures of him being beaten up and defeated so that they have proof that they succeeded in avenging their father. It's an alright episode. I enjoyed it. And once again, I remember the music more over the episode.
Hi, I'm Eustace. Now listen up, because I'm only saying this once. This summer, go to CartoonNetwork.com and choose your favorite cartoon at .com pick. Winners are aired every Friday night. That's .com pick. There, I said it again. Stupid internet.
And talking about Courage made me want to look up the website of Cartoon Network back in the day, you know, take a look at the old archives and see what it used to look like and maybe get a chance to play one of these old school games. I remember playing most of these. How Courage guide Eustace to the fridge and back by steering him away from oncoming ghouls. Any chance of playing this? Ah, damn it. I can play most Flash games still, but not these ones. It does make you wonder if there is any way to play one of these. I think there was a chance to download games. Cartoon Orbit, I do remember that. Aww. Cartoon Orbit is designed to work with any browser version number 4 or higher. Oh, this is definitely higher than Netscape Navigator 4.74 or Microsoft Internet Explorer 4.0. Come on, Dexter. Choose a character. Why did they do that again? Activate. Let's see if something works here. Just click on Courage. Click on Courage again. So that's what you do. I'd like to talk more about every other episode that I like about the show, my favorite parts and whatnot, but maybe I can do that in a separate video. This one was mainly meant to be about the pilot episode of the series, but John Dilworth's artistic work is just too damn good to not mention while talking about Courage the Cowardly Dog show. I don't know if he's got any new projects such as a brand new series on the works, but his YouTube animations are worth checking out. His latest one is a freaking masterpiece. It's called Life in Transition, and well, you better check it out for yourselves. His channel's name is the same as his production brand, Stretch Films. So check out his channel and subscribe to him as well. Because you know damn well that we would not have had this glorious piece of our childhood if it weren't for this man.
He's a freak. You're getting a good sign, right?
No. Yeah. Oh, here comes the back. Uh-oh, here comes the back.
But when it counted, he came through.
I can eat 50 eggs.
Nobody can eat 50 eggs.
Those are Bohindian mugwumps, you morons. They live in the large intestines of sea cows.
On your marks, get set, go.
Were we supposed to eat the heads? Because I took no prisoners.
Brack wins, Barberos. One of yours must go.
Daffy.
Hello, stranger. Welcome to the store piano. We've got the iconic grin as well as the new lime green logo in store for you. And for a limited time, you can purchase the Yuri vs. Joe knockout item. It's available as a t-shirt including stickers, all for a very low price. This one's based on the Resident Evil 3 mobile game called Resident Evil The Missions. And this one I like to call the Jill Manwich. It's my blend of the two things I love in this world, Jill and memes. And don't worry about the prices. They're as low as they can be. Yep, I'm barely making any profit. But, the important thing is that you don't need to spend too much to look good in the groovy lime green logo. So get yourself a Jill Manwich t-shirt or any of these luxurious and spunky designs. And wear them with pride.
Yeah, wear them with pride.
Trust me, anyone sees you wearing one of these and they'll immediately think, which translates to,
this guy, this is my kind of guy.
Now, over at my Patreon, I'm working on some secret projects. So if you'd like to have access to some of these never-before-seen videos, including updates and concept art from a comic book I'm working on based on Resident Evil Outbreak, then my Patreon's got you covered. I'll be updating everyone there with exclusive videos and newer art panels so you can see how far that project progresses over time. It's going to be the first comic book I create, and I'm putting as much effort as I can into it. So I do feel confident about that project alone. You might also be glad to know that I've started narrating the S.D. Perry novel of Resident Evil The Umbrella Conspiracy as part of the Patreon exclusives, and there will be a new video based on each chapter every week. So don't miss out on any of these, my fellow jabronis. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button to give this video a chance to grow. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters for their impeccable generosity. Your support means a lot to me, and you are part of the reason why I try to make the best content that I can. And if you like this content, check out the rest of my channel. You'll find more entertainment from separate franchises I like to cover, such as Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Celebrity Deathmatch, Men in Black, The Mask, Batman comics, The Terminator, TMNT, Dino Crises, Resident Evil, and more. If you're a Patreon supporter, check out my exclusive videos such as the Gantz content. And if you'd like to show your support, go to my Patreon and support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.